Hello, everyone, and welcome to English Over Tea. Listen and speak. Easy English Podcast. I'm Anna.
And I'm Dan. We're so happy you're here with us again, learning step by step, wherever you're listening from. Maybe at home, maybe on a walk, maybe cooking in the kitchen. Thank you for spending your time with us.
Before we jump into today's topic, how is everything going, Dan?
Honestly, I'm feeling a little hungry today. I really want a big slice of chocolate cake.
You always want chocolate cake. But wait, notice what you just said. You said, I really want a big slice. You didn't say, I really will a big slice.
Exactly. And that brings us perfectly into today's topic. Two very common, very powerful words in English, will and want.
Yes, many beginners confuse them or they translate directly from their native language and the meaning gets a little mixed up. Sometimes they sound too forceful when they just want to be polite, or they use the wrong grammar structure.
So today, we're going to make it very clear in a simple, relaxed, practical way. No complicated grammar, just real English.
Before we continue, if you enjoy learning English in this friendly way, don't forget to like this episode, subscribe to English Over Tea, Listen and Speak, and most importantly, speak out loud with us. All right, let's move slowly into today's topic.
So tell me, Anna, when we think about the word will, what is the first thing that comes to mind?
First, you should understand that we have a special kind of verb called a modal verb. The modal verb will is one of the most important ones we use every single day.
Yes, modal verbs. They sound scary, but they are just helpers. These helping verbs include can, could, shall, should, ought to, will, and would.
Exactly. They help the main verb. And when we use will in this way, it means that something is expected to happen. We are talking about the future.
For example, the train will leave at 9 o'clock.
Perfect. Meaning it is scheduled. I expect it to happen. I am sure about it.
But what if I say I want the train to leave at 9 o'clock?
Ah, do you see the difference? If you want it to leave, that is simply your desire. It is your feeling. But the train driver doesn't care about your feelings.
That is very true. The train has a schedule. So will is about future facts or strong expectations, and want is about what you desire inside your heart or stomach, like my chocolate cake.
Exactly. Let's practice slowly. If I say I will drink coffee, it means this is my plan. It is going to happen.
But if you say I want to drink coffee, it means you have the desire, but maybe you don't have the coffee yet. You're just expressing a wish.
Right. And notice the grammar there. This is a huge trap for learners. We say I will drink. We do not say I will to drink.
Yes, because will is a helping verb. It goes directly next to the main verb with no to in the middle. I will go, she will study, they will eat.
But want is different. When we use a verb after want, we usually need to. I want to go. She wants to study. They want to eat.
That one little word to causes so many headaches.
I hear students say, I want to learn English. Ouch. The correct sentence is, I want to learn English.
But here is where English gets a little crazy, Anna. Sometimes will can actually mean a desire, just like want.
Yes. Let's look at will as a desire. Second, when the verb stands alone, it means to want or desire something.
Let me give you an example. You can say what you will, but my yellow car is beautiful to me.
Oh, I love that expression. Say what you will. In that case, you may use the verb want and have the same meaning.
Yes, you could say, you can say what you want, but my car is beautiful to me.
That is so natural. Say what you want to about my car. I still love it.
That is so natural. Say what you want to. But if we use will, we just say what you will. It sounds a little bit more formal, maybe a little poetic.
It does. It feels like something from a movie. Say what you will about Dan, but he makes a great cup of tea.
Why, thank you, Anna. Now, let's make sure our listeners are practicing with us. Let's do a quick situation game. I will give you a scenario, and you, out there listening, tell me if you should use will or want.
I'm ready.
You are at a restaurant. The waiter asks you what you would like. Do you say, I will a salad, or I want a salad?
Listeners, say it out loud. The correct answer is, I want a salad. You are expressing your desire. You cannot use will directly with a noun like that.
Exactly. You could say, I will have a salad, but not I will a salad.
English is full of these tiny rules, but once you feel the rhythm, it becomes natural.
Yes, and we also learned that sometimes will can mean desire, like in the phrase, say what you will.
Exactly. But English loves to be tricky. There is a third meaning of the verb will. It means to cause or try to cause something to happen by using the power of your mind.
Whoa, using mental force? That sounds like a superhero power.
It really does. Let me give you an example. Imagine a very boring class. The student willed the clock to move faster toward the end of class.
I have definitely done that. Sitting there, staring at the clock, thinking, move, move, haha. So in that situation, the student is using their mind to try and force the time to change.
Yes. As in the earlier case, you might be able to use want in these sentences, but it would change the meaning a little and sound less forceful. If you say the student wanted the clock to move faster, it's just a feeling.
But willed the clock means they are actually concentrating hard, trying to use mental energy. It is much stronger.
Exactly. Let's do another example of this mental force. Imagine watching a sports game. Your favorite player kicks the ball. You might say, I willed the ball to go into the net.
That is a great one. You are not physically touching the ball, but you are using your mind to try and push it.
Now, let's look at one final, very different way we use this word. Finally, we can use will to talk about leaving our property to others when we die.
Ah, yes, giving property in a will. This is a very serious topic, but very important for learning English. That is a legal term.
Here's an example. She wills the family jewels to her only child.
So, willed here is an action in the past tense. She created a legal document to give her jewels away.
Correct. And here's a major difference. In that case, you could not substitute want unless you added another verb. You cannot say, she wanted the family jewels to her child. That is grammatically wrong and makes no sense.
Right. If you try to use want there, you have to add extra words, as in this example. She wanted to will the family jewels to her only child.
Notice how we have both words there. Wanted to will. She had the desire to make the legal transfer.
Let's go deeper into daily conversation examples and tricky situations where both words feel possible. Real English is not always black and white.
I love that idea. Let's imagine simple daily situations. Your friend is carrying a very heavy box. Do you say, I will help you, or I want to help you?
Ooh, good question.
If I see them struggling, I usually just step in and say, I will help you. It is a spontaneous decision, an offer made right in that moment.
Perfect. Will is used for offers and instant decisions. If you say, I want to help you, it sounds a bit passive. It means you have a desire, but maybe you're just standing there watching them.
Haha, exactly. I want to help you, but my coffee is too hot to put down right now.
That's terrible, but it perfectly shows the difference. Will means action is coming. Want just means a feeling exists.
Let's try another one. You were on the phone making a hotel reservation. Do you say, I will a room with a view, or I want a room with a view?
We know we can't use will directly with a noun like that, so I want a room with a view is grammatically okay. But is it polite?
Tone is everything. I want can sometimes sound a little bit rude or demanding, like a child saying, I want a toy.
Yes. So instead of I want, we often use a softer version. We might say, I would like a room with a view. But if we're talking about our plans for the trip to our friends, we can say, we will stay in a room with the view.
This is why context matters so much. Let's do a quick correction practice. I'll say a wrong sentence, you correct it. This is where everyone at home becomes the English teacher.
Listeners, don't just sit quietly. Say the correct sentence out loud. Ready?
Sentence number 1. I will to go to the store later.
Think carefully. What is wrong there? We said earlier that will is a modal verb. Modal verbs do not take to after them.
So the correct sentence is, I will go to the store later.
Perfect. Next one. She willed the door to open by staring at it.
Oh, this goes back to our superhero mental force.
Yes, but the sentence was she will the door. The action is happening now or in the past. If it's the past, we say she willed the door to open.
Exactly. Okay, next sentence. My grandfather wants his house to me when he dies.
This is about leaving property. You cannot use wants directly with the object and person like that.
Right, you have to use the legal term. My grandfather willed his house to me. Or if he's still alive and planning it, my grandfather will his house to me. Wait, that sounds funny.
It does sound funny, but will is technically correct there. The first will is the future tense helper, and the second will is the legal action of giving property. But usually people just say, he plans to leave his house to me, to avoid saying will.
That is a pro tip right there. So let's review our main points for this section. Will can be a future helper, a mental force, or a legal transfer of property.
And want is simply a desire. If you remember that will usually creates an action or an expectation, and want is just a feeling inside you, you will avoid so many mistakes.
You will avoid mistakes. See, you just used it perfectly to show a future expectation.
We've covered future plans, mental powers, and even legal documents.
It's been a busy session, but Dan, there's one more thing we need to talk about, because it's something our listeners will hear all the time in movies and songs. It's the hidden desire in the word will.
Oh, you mean when will sounds like a choice?
Exactly. Sometimes will isn't just about the future, it's about willingness. For example, if I ask you, will you help me with this heavy box? I'm not just asking about the future. I'm asking if you are willing to do it.
That's a great point. If I answer I will, I am expressing my agreement or my desire to help. It's very close to want, but it sounds much more like a commitment.
Right. Imagine a wedding. They don't say, do you want to take this person to be your husband or wife?
No, that would sound a bit too casual for a wedding. Yeah, I guess I want to. No, they say I will.
I do or I will. It's a promise. It's a statement of strong intent. So while want is the feeling of desire, will is often the decision based on that desire.
I love that. Want is the feeling, will is the decision. That is a perfect way to remember it.
Let's look at another common mistake. What about the negative forms? This is where it gets interesting. I don't want to versus I won't.
Oh, that's a big difference in tone. If my boss asks me to work on Saturday and I say, I don't want to work, I am just sharing my feelings. I'm sad about it. But if I say, I won't work, that is a refusal.
Yes, please, listeners, be careful with won't. Won't is the short form of will not. If you say I won't, it sounds very strong and a bit stubborn.
Exactly. If your friend asks, will you come to my party? And you say, I won't, they might be offended. It's much better to say, I want to come, but I can't, or I won't be able to make it.
So want is softer. Will and won't are much more definite. They're like a solid wall, while want is like a soft cloud.
I like your metaphors today, Anna. A solid wall and a soft cloud. Let's try to put everything we learned today into a final practice. I'm going to tell a short story, and I want you to spot the wills and wants.
I'm ready, and I hope our listeners are ready to shout them out too.
Okay, here is the story. Little Timmy wants a new bicycle for his birthday. He knows his parents will buy him one if he gets good grades. Every night, Timmy stares at a picture of the bike and wills himself to study harder. He says to himself, I will be the best student in class.
Oh, that's a perfect story. It has everything. Did you catch them?
Let's break it down. First, Timmy wants a bicycle. That's his desire, his feeling.
Then his parents will buy him one. That is the expected future result. It's a fact based on a condition.
Next, he wills himself to study. There's that mental force again. He is pushing his mind to work harder.
And finally, I will be the best student. That is his promise, his strong decision.
It's amazing how these two small words do so much work in the English language.
They really do. And before we finish, let's look at one more tiny detail, the pronunciation. For will, we often shorten it to ill.
Yes, I'll go, she'll help, they'll arrive. It's much faster. But we never shorten want like that. We can say wanna in very casual speech like I wanna go, but that's a different thing.
Right. Wanna is want to, but ill is just will. It's important to hear that L sound at the end of words.
I'll want a coffee later. There I go again, using both.
You always will want something to eat or drink, Dan, but that's a perfect sentence. I'll, future expectation, want, desire, a coffee.
It makes total sense now. I hope it makes sense for everyone listening too. Remember, don't be afraid to make mistakes. The more you use will and want, the more you will feel the difference.
That's right. Practice by talking to yourself. Tell yourself what you want to do today, and then tell yourself what you will actually do.
For me, I want to run a marathon, but I will probably just sit on the sofa and eat that chocolate cake we talked about earlier.
At least you're being honest, Dan. Honesty is the best way to learn.
Well, we have reached the end of our deep dive. We've looked at will as a helper, a mental force, and a legal action. And we've looked at want as our inner feelings and desires.
We hope this helps you feel more confident when you speak. Remember to listen to this episode a few times if you need to. Each time you listen, you will understand a little bit more.
And you will start to hear these patterns in every English conversation around you.
It has been such a pleasure sharing this tea time with you all.
Absolutely. Keep practicing, keep speaking, and keep enjoying the journey of learning English.
We are so proud of the progress you're making. Just keep going step by step.
One word at a time, one sentence at a time.
Until next time, happy practicing!